Welcome, everyone, to our first edition of Weekly Football Chat. Today, we're going to be going over the games that will be played during Week 13, which is where I believe now we'll start to see from here on out the playoff picture as they're already starting to kind of show it on the TV. Now, although we do have another game tonight, which is the Steelers and the Colts, and which I'm going to go with the Colts on this one. I didn't get a chance to do one for this week because the games are all mixed up, but I'm going to go with the Colts. But now we're going to start with Week 13. The first game, which is Thursday Night Football, will be the Buffalo Bills versus the New England Patriots. For me, no brainer. I'm going to go with the Bills. Think they'll be able to take on the Patriots. Although it's a little bit different with with the Patriots because of Bill Belichick, but I still believe that the Bills will take it. The next game will be the Green Bay Packers versus the Bears, Chicago Bears. I'm gonna go with the Packers on this one. I think they tend to always have the Bears numbers. Even though if Aaron Rodgers plays or not, I think Jordan Love played a pretty good game yesterday. So in the fourth quarter, so I'll have the Packers going. The next game, haven't really followed these two teams that much. Pittsburgh Steelers and the Atlanta Falcons. But on this one, I'll go with the Falcons. They may upset, or I'm not quite sure. I haven't really kept up with these teams' um, record this year. The next game is New York Jets versus the Minnesota Vikings, and although the Jets have upset a few teams this year already, still believe that the Vikings will keep it going. I know that they lost to the Cowboys last Sunday, but I don't think that'll take away anything. I think after beating New England, I think it shows that they're still top contenders in the NFC. The next game, the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Detroit Lions. For me, gonna go for with Detroit. Uh, they took on Buffalo, and it came down to the wire. So I believe this is just the start of what's going to be happening. And for that conference, really, I think they're doing pretty well. I know it doesn't help with Green Bay and the Bears not having that good of a record, but I think the Lions are starting to show that they're a contender in that division. The next game is a toughie one for me because these two teams are actually doing pretty well, and they're the Tennessee Titans and the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, it's tough because I believe like a lot of the veteran workers are on the Tennessee Titans. Uh, they still have a great running game, but for this one, I'm going to go with the Eagles. They've been showing a lot. They have a lot of different weapons that they can use. They can go to the ground. They can go to the air. They have a great defense. I think they'll be able to take Tennessee out. So I'm going to go with the Eagles on this one. Uh, Next game, the Browns and the Texans. Again, haven't really watched too much on this. The only thing I know is that the Browns beat Tampa Bay, I believe, yesterday. So I'm gonna go with the Browns on this one. Could be wrong on this one. Texans could surprise people, but I'll go with the Browns. Uh, and NFC East matchup. Now we have the Washington Commanders and the New York Giants. Although the Commanders can surprise people, but I think the Giants, after losing on Thursday, they may come out on top. So I'm going to go with the Giants on this one. The next game, the Denver Broncos versus the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I've always gone with the Ravens because they've always had a great team. I don't ever remember the Ravens having too bad of a team. Uh, but I'll go with the Broncos this time because I like to go with the underdogs. Uh, See if they can get something going, which they've surprised a couple of teams this year. So I'll go with them this year against the Ravens. So we've got the Broncos over the Ravens, but not by very much. The next game is the Miami Dolphins versus the San Francisco 49ers. This is a tough one because the Dolphins are having a great team. Seems to be doing a great job with the team. They have all sorts of weapons that they can use. And so do the 49ers. 49ers have a lot more, especially with McCaffrey joining them uh, a few weeks ago. So for this one, I'll go with the 49ers. It's a tough one. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Yeah, at least I believe that time slot will be a very good game. So I'll have the 49ers over the Dolphins. The next game, the Seattle Seahawks versus the LA Rams. Gonna go with Seattle. Not gonna go on the not really going for the Rams, and I never jumped on their bandwagon either. So we're gonna go with the Seattle Seahawks winning that game. Another tough game to pick. Seeing how they both teams have done, we have the LA Chargers and the Las Vegas Raiders. Now this is another division matchup. It's a tough one because this past week I believe the Raiders won, but the Chargers no, I don't know if the Chargers. I don't remember, but the Chargers did look good against KC for a while. Um, but for this one, I'll go with the Chargers. Justin Herbert's been doing really well. I want to see where his career kind of goes because he's been doing pretty well. Now, the next one is for me. It looks like it's a a repeat of the AFC Championship game from last year. You have the Kansas City Chiefs against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, just like in that game, I'm going for the Bengals. The Chiefs may want to avenge that loss where the Bengals seem to have their number, especially in the fourth quarter. But I'm still going to go with the Bengals. I think they still know exactly how to take them out. Uh, Underdog person, I guess. I like to go for the underdogs. Sunday Night Football, the Indianapolis Colts and the Dallas Cowboys. Well, being from Texas, been watching the Cowboys since I was younger. Still watch them almost every week. Uh, on this one, gonna have to go with the Cowboys. Although the Colts are doing pretty well, I still think the Cowboys have a lot more. Their offense is starting to move. Their defense is starting to do pretty well. If it wasn't for the penalties, they probably would have a lot more going for them. But their penalties seem to be giving up them the worst. But for this one, I'll go with Dallas. And then Monday Night Football, another division game. It's a rivalry. It's the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Gotta go with the GOAT. Go with Tampa Bay. Even though they haven't had the best record this year, you know, it just happens. I still believe that Tampa Bay still can do something with what they have. They still have in the playoff picture I saw yesterday. They still have the the spot in the playoffs because of their division. So I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay Buccaneers and also TB12. So there we have it. There's the picks I have for this week. These are just my opinions. They don't reflect on anybody else. If you have your opinions, that's fine. Those are just my opinions. Uh, we're going to come back next Tuesday to talk about the results from all these. If I lost any, I'll address it too because I'll remember where it was. And then I'll do the picks for next week for week 14. And then as the playoffs start coming, I'll start talking about where the lineups are going to be. And then even in the playoffs, I'll start talking about the standings and where I think it's going to go. So thank y'all so much for watching. And I'm going to keep doing this. And I think during the off season, I'll bring some news up that happens. I know it's a little tough, especially during the off season. So thank y'all so much. And we'll see y'all next week.